Yeah, hello. Ronaldo here from Miami. I'm gonna do a very fast comment on the recent developments in the war, the NATO war against Russia using Ukraine as a proxy. Uh, we have seen that during the last couple of days, uh, actually, there have been an escalation on the rhetoric, and there have been an escalation on the actual attacks because the United States, Biden, the lame duck presidency of figurehead, Joseph Biden, is authorizing uh, uh, strikes deep inside Russia. Uh, these long-range missiles are attacking Russia, and immediately after Biden gave the permission, then we can see that the most neocon, most globalist European leaders in the United Kingdom, they also authorized the Storm Shadow to attack missiles, to attack deep also inside Russia. So they have been attacking for the last few days deep inside Russia, and today, Thursday, Russia answered by firing their new intermediate ballistic missile, hypersonic ballistic missile. A new missile that Putin went to the cameras and said that it's unstoppable and is their latest best weapon right now. Obviously, without nuclear warheads, conventional, they remove any nuclear, so it was not a nuclear attack, but the missile was unstoppable, and the missile destroyed a military factory in Ukraine. So this is what's going on. This is what's happening. This is the root cause of this situation. Zelensky is desperate. That's number one. He's desperate. He's losing. He's losing bad. His Kursk invasion of a few months ago, it did not have any effect on stopping the Russian offensive in the Donbas region, in the southeast of the country. And Russia is winning, and is winning very fast and decisively that battle, taking a lot of territory and causing great catastrophic losses into the Ukrainian army. And Zelensky went over there to Kursk, and he took 1 million town, a lot of potato fields, and that's basically it. That's basically it. I mean, there is no strategic value. They did not get the city of Kursk itself. They did not get the nuclear plant. So he did nothing, and he had been suffering catastrophic losses over there in the open plains, in the open potato fields. They are surrounded by over 50,000 now Russian soldiers, likely also 10,000 North Korean soldiers. The North Koreans, they were over there for the experience, basically. Russia don't, the Russian army doesn't need North Koreans. They are they're growing, they're getting stronger every month. Usually like 25,000 soldiers per month, they're getting stronger. And they don't need 10,000 North Koreans. But the North Koreans, they want the experience. They want to see real combat. They want to learn lessons learned from real combat. So that's why they are there, basically. And again, Zelensky is having terrible losses in Kursk that did not stop the Russian offensive in the Donbas area, and they did not achieve any strategic objective. Not the nuclear plant, not the city of Kursk. Basically, they just took a lot of empty potato fields and suffering a lot of casualties, but because of the pride, because of the ego, Zelensky is refusing to give the order of retreat to the soldiers, to his soldiers. So they're staying over there, even though they are suffering terrible losses and terrible catastrophic losses and casualties, they're still staying over there, and they are eventually going to be eliminated. And Zelensky is forced to keep sending troops and reinforcements and equipment over there, and trying to do a desperate gamble. So Zelensky is desperate. Zelensky is running out of soldiers. That Zelensky said, oh, I only lost 31,000 soldiers, he said a few months ago. That is poor BS. That's absolute nonsense. That's propaganda. Realistically, they have over 400,000, maybe more, maybe 500,000 losses, the Ukrainians. And the average age of the Ukrainian soldier now is 43. They are running out of manpower. They have no manpower. The catastrophic losses are terrible in the Ukrainian side. And whenever somebody tells you the contrary, you only need to understand something. Russia is bombing the Ukrainian soldiers with FAB, with these glide bombs, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds per month. They are 1,500, 3,000, 1,500 explosive, hundreds of them, perhaps 900 bombs or glide bombs a month, destroying bunkers, destroying command centers, equipment, buildings. And the Ukrainians are receiving that month after month after month. Those are dozens and dozens of thousands of casualties that the Ukrainians are having. The army, that artillery advantage of the Russian army is 3-1, 4-1 sometimes. And in this exchange of artillery, obviously the Ukrainians are taking the worst part. And obviously that's why the Russians are advancing. So when somebody tells you, oh, the Russians have 600,000 casualties and Ukraine have 31,000, that's absolute propaganda, BS. They're losing bad. And the only thing that Zelensky can do is lie about his casualties and the Russian casualties to try to keep the morale up. So that's it. So he's desperate. He knows that Trump is coming soon in 2 months. And Trump already said that he's not going to support him. Trump said that he doesn't really care about any Ukrainian so-called victory, and he wants to settle for peace as soon as possible. He wants to keep his good relationship with Russia, with Putin, and avoid a nuclear war. That's his priority. He's not buying into the globalist neocon project Ukraine, of making Ukraine a NATO country, a puppet of the post-Christian secularist West. That is not something that Trump is interested in. So Zelensky is desperate. He's running out of time. So he doesn't care at all. He's acting out of desperation. And honestly, what he wants to do, he wants to drag the United States and NATO into the war. He wants direct conflict. He wants the Russophobic countries that are normally and usually Poland and the 3 Baltic countries. They hate Russia. They're willing to come inside. But he also wants the powerful countries of NATO, the United States, the United Kingdom, France, to come in. He wants to provoke Putin. So Putin do something, and then they might have an excuse. Oh, we need to defend Ukraine directly. We need to intervene directly. NATO have to go to war. He wants to drag. He have nothing to lose. Zelensky have nothing to lose. I mean, he's losing anyways. He's in a desperate situation. He's running out of time. Trump is coming, so he doesn't care. And what he doesn't see is that this conventional war that he wants to start between NATO and Russia will for sure escalate very, 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 very fast into a nuclear war. Russia is weaker, a lot weaker than NATO and the United States in conventional forces. So that means that once the conventional war starts and the conventional forces of the United Kingdom, the United States, Poland, and Germany, and Italy, and France, and Spain, and all NATO countries attack Russia, and Russia is beginning to suffer great casualties, Russia have nothing to lose there. Okay, let's go nuclear. Okay, because we cannot stand to you in a conventional war. So Russia will escalate. Listen, and this is part of the same of the mistake that Biden and the neocon globalists are having, and the neocon globalist people of the post-Christian Europe are having. First of all, they are having a hard time understanding that Russia is not Iraq. Russia is not Serbia. Russia is not Panama. Russia is not Libya. Russia is not Afghanistan. They are used for the last 30 years to attack little, helpless countries, third world countries, and do their will. Now they are facing a new situation, unknown situation to them. I want to say unknown is unknown because they never faced this situation where they are facing conflict with a nuclear superpower with over 6,000 nuclear weapons. This is what we call the unipolar hangover, first of all. I mean, there are many other reasons. First of all, they still believe in their mind that Russia is the evil communist, Soviet Union, that they want to conquer the world, that they are communists, atheists, somewhere, somehow, he wants to recreate, Russia wants to recreate the Warsaw Pact, etc., world conquering, Marxism and communism. That's a terrible strategic error. Russia is not the Soviet Union anymore. The Warsaw Pact doesn't exist anymore. Russia doesn't want to recreate the Warsaw Pact. And Christianism, the Russian Orthodox Church, have taken place of the old communist, atheist ideology and foundation of this old Soviet Union. So two different things, the communist, atheist, Soviet Union, Christian Russia under Putin. Two completely different animals, two completely different things, apples and oranges. They don't understand this. They also have, obviously, as I said before, the unipolar hangover. They are in this ecstasies of power, of being the only superpower, of doing their will everywhere they want, however they want, bomb wherever they want, Libya, let's gonna bomb Serbia, let's gonna destroy Iraq, let's gonna kill Hussein, let's gonna invade Panama, let's do whatever. We are the only one superpower in the world, we can do as we wish. And now they're having a hangover. They don't know what to do when the superpower, a nuclear superpower, is in front of them. And I'm not saying anything new. I mean, one of the top military leaders of NATO, military commanders of NATO, just said a few days ago, oh, if Russia were not a nuclear power, we would have invaded long time ago. We'll go into Ukraine long time ago. So they are having a desperation mode. They don't know what to do. And this is the problem of the neocons. They don't know how to face a nuclear superpower like Russia. I mean, and this is, I mean, you see people in the press, people in the media, Piers Morgan, for example. Piers Morgan is the classic neocon, is the classic warmonger, the classic globalist. I mean, center-right, but still center-right globalist neocon. A la John McCain, a la John Bolton, etc., etc. This idea of the Bush ideology of expansionism, the Pax Americana, that's going to recreate the whole world at our image, etc. So the unipolar hangover. But this is the other great mistake that they are doing. Yes, Biden wants to sabotage Trump. Yes, Biden wants to make it impossible for Trump to get the peace that Trump promised that he will get between Ukraine and Russia. Biden is desperate to escalate as much as he can to make a mess, the biggest mess. I mean, Biden and his handlers. I think that Joe Biden is mostly a figurehead, but his handlers, they want to explode. They want to create this big mess. They want to escalate, to sabotage the Trump presidency that is coming in January 2025. So this is the main situation. That's the main issue. And that lead to the great strategic error, the other great strategic error that the globalists, the neocons are having. They do not understand that this war for Russia is existential. Again, they do not understand, they don't compute in their minds that this war is existential. First of all, they don't care at all about Ukraine or the Ukrainian soldiers or the Ukrainian casualties or the destruction of the country. They don't care. They have a project, they have a pet project. They want to create Ukraine, their puppet, their marionette, the member of NATO, one of us, create this modern secularist country with all the cultural Marxist jewels that the post-Christian Europe and the post-Christian United States under Biden have, and they want to create their puppet over there of NATO, etc. But they really don't care of the casualties, a million casualties of Ukrainian soldiers, of the country destroyed. They don't care. They only want to hurt Russia. That's it. That's their strategy. They're going to use whoever and whatever they can to hurt Russia. They're going to do it because in their mind, they don't care. Ukraine is just a tool. It's just a tool that is available. And whenever Ukraine is not available, they will abandon Ukraine and use whoever else. They want to hurt Russia because Russia is powerful of the United States, have more nuclear weapons than the United States, and Biden and the globalists, the neocons, the John Boltons, the Piers Morgan, they cannot accept that reality. But the main error, the main strategic blunder is this. This war is existential for Russia. Russia cannot allow itself to lose this war. I say it again, Russia cannot allow itself to lose this war. They believe, the neocons, the Piers Morgans, the John Boltons of the world, the Lindsey Grahams of the world, they believe in their mind that if they make life hard for Russia, for Putin will abandon this war and go home. Just like the United States did in Vietnam. Just like the United States did a couple of years ago in Afghanistan. Just like the Soviet Union did 30 years ago in Afghanistan as well. They depart from this false premise that this war for Russia is some kind of optional war, of a choice kind of war. We are going to try it, but if things get hard for us, if we get a lot of casualties and we're not winning real fast, okay, we tried. Now let's go to pack and let's go home, just like the United States did in Vietnam. We're going to try, but if things get ugly, okay, we abandon, let's quit, let's go home. That is the biggest strategic blunder of the neocons, of the globalists. It's a terrible blunder, terrible. This war is existential, just like existential was for the United States to stop the Soviet missiles in Cuba in 1962. This is an existential threat. Russia cannot allow a puppet armed to the teeth Ukrainian state, puppet of NATO, puppet of the globalist United States, puppet of all the secularist post-Christian Europe. That is a mortal threat to Russia, to the security of Russia. Having this armed to the teeth state, NATO country at the borders, risking and putting and threatening the food basket, the Vladikavkaz area, the oil-producing regions of Russia, is the Caucasus, is a mortal threat. Just like the United States will never, ever accept Mexico to become a puppet of China and having hundreds of thousands of Chinese soldiers in the border over there with Mexico and with California and with Chinese missiles over there in Mexico pointing to the United States. And they will never allow that. The United States, that's an existential threat to the United States. So having a puppet, a NATO puppet country in Ukraine, Ukraine as a NATO puppet country, is an existential threat to the Russian national security. Russia needs Ukraine as a neutral buffer between NATO and the Russian borders. They can never, ever allow that. Furthermore, people don't understand. If they keep pushing Russia, and that's what they want a strategic defeat of Russia. They want Russia humiliated, destroyed, annihilated. They want regime change, in Putin out, maybe Putin losing his life, his own life, his government, his regime, Russia breaking down into 6, 7, 8 countries, destroy the Russian Federation. That's what they want. That's the strategic goal. And this is what they don't understand. Russia cannot allow that to happen. And if that is going to happen, and Russia cannot prevent that to happen, then they have nothing to lose. That's what Piers Morgan doesn't understand. If Russia is about to lose, everything, be destroyed, be humiliated, be broken down, then Russia have nothing to lose. Then they will push the button because, listen, dying and being destroyed is bad. But dying and being destroyed alone with your enemies, still healthy and still there and still alive, is worst. Before going down alone, Russia will choose to go down with its enemies. That's what Piers Morgan doesn't understand. That's what the globalists, the neocons in Washington, D.C., in London, in Paris, in Barcelona don't understand. A few weeks ago, Piers Morgan was talking, Russia cannot use nuclear weapon because then he will be vaporized. We will vaporize him and annihilate him. Yes, okay. The United Kingdom, the United States will vaporize and annihilate Putin. Yes, of course. But this is what Piers Morgan doesn't understand. Piers, you also will be annihilated and vaporized. And London will be vaporized, and New York will be vaporized, and Los Angeles will be vaporized, and Paris will be vaporized, and Berlin will be vaporized. That is what the neocons don't understand. In mutual assured destruction, the most important word is mutual. Everybody gets destroyed. Okay, that's what Piers Morgan doesn't compute in his mind. That's what the neocons in Washington, D.C., the Bidens and the John Boltons and all these army of neocons and globalists in the European Union and Brussels, and they don't understand. If you push Russia to the brink of destruction, of a strategic defeat, humiliation, then Russia has nothing to lose. Okay, and we're going down. Perfect, you win, we're going down. But we are not going down alone. You are coming with us. The whole world gets destroyed. 900 million people in the world dies because it's better to die with my enemies than to die alone. That is what the neocons don't compute. And this war is an existential war for Russia. They will never, ever can do what the United States did in Vietnam. We're going to try, we're going to fight, but if the things get too hard and too difficult, we pack and go home. Russia cannot do that. Russia cannot do that. Russia has to win this conflict. And this is what I tell all the neocons all the time, all the Ben Hodges and all the neocons all the time. This war will end with a victory of Russia or with the war destroyed. That's it. There are no third option. There is no scenario where the Ukraine puppet and the United States and the globalists and the NATO wins and Russia is defeated. That will not happen. Russia is not Nazi Germany. Nazi Germany could be destroyed. Yes, they didn't have nuclear weapons. Japan, Imperial Japan could be destroyed. They didn't have nuclear weapons. And yes, Saddam Hussein could be destroyed. He didn't have nuclear weapons. Russia has 6,000 nuclear weapons. And if they are losing this war, if they're about to lose this war, and they're going to be defeated, humiliated, the country is breaking down, Putin's about to lose his life, Russia is about to be break down in 6, 7, 8, 9 countries, whatever. Okay, perfect. Give me the button. We're going to die. We're going to be destroyed, vaporized, like Piers Morgan said. But we are not going to die alone. You're coming with us. Give me the button. Pam, 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 pam. Bye-bye, London. Bye-bye, New York. bye-bye Chicago, bye-bye Los Angeles, bye-bye Berlin, bye-bye Madrid, bye-bye Rome. That is what the neocons cannot compute. Again, in mutual assured destruction, the most important word is mutual. We all gonna die. And this is what they don't understand. So Zelensky is desperate. He wants to drag the United States into the war. He wants to drag the whole of NATO into the war. He doesn't care. He's about to lose anyway, so why not? Let's bring the whole world with me. Have nothing to lose. And Biden is, again, trying to sabotage the presidency of Trump. So that is the escalation. That's where the desperation of Zelensky and the desperation of Biden and all the neocons that support him is projected with this escalation, with these deep strikes into Russia. And remember, a few weeks ago, Zelensky came here to the United States, and he begged Biden, give me permission to strike deep inside Russia. And Biden said, no. Well, Biden and his handlers, no, you cannot do that. But a few weeks ago, Trump won the elections. Trump is going to be the next president. Now Biden gives permissions. Now, this decision of Biden is completely the direct result of Trump winning the election. Now he wants to sabotage the peace that Trump wants to bring. Now he wants to destroy that peace. He wants to create such a big mess of escalation to make it impossible for Trump to deliver the peace that he wants. And again, all the neocons, Zelensky the first, they want to drag the whole world into war. He's losing, he's desperate. They're growing in desperation every day, and he doesn't care. He wants to create this escalation. So that is the thing. Now, what I will tell President Putin and the Russian, and what I pray for is, do not fall into this provocation. You are winning. Keep it like that. Do not fall in the provocation. Don't load this new ballistic missile that you have, hypersonic, unstoppable ballistic missile with nuclear heads. Do not do that. It's tempting. You can destroy 50, 60, 70,000 soldiers in one day of the Ukrainian army, but that will give the perfect excuse that Zelensky and Biden are looking to drag NATO into direct war, World War III with Russia. So do not do it. Wait and hold until President Trump takes office on January 2025, and he will stop this madness. He will stop this suicidal, absolute nonsensic policy of Biden. Just hold and wait. That will be my desperate recommendation for Russia. Hold and wait, do not fall into this provocation. Now, my fear is that Zelensky, because again, he's desperate, he will, and he knows that these deep strikes deep into Russia are not a game changer as far as the military situation on the ground, on the battlefield, that he might try something really desperate, not from the military viewpoint, but from the propaganda viewpoint, that he might try to destroy the Crimea Bridge, that he might try to attack the Kremlin, to kill a few of the ministers of Putin, kill Lavrov, destroy, attack Moscow, create casualties in Moscow, hundreds or thousands of casualties. That is my fear. That is my fear. Something so powerful, so grotesque, not from the military viewpoint, but from the propaganda viewpoint, from the moral and human damage viewpoint, that the ultra-nationalists in Russia then will put extreme pressure in Putin to retaliate with nuclear weapons. That is my fear. And remember, Putin is a moderate. He's a patriot, he's a nationalist, of course, but he's a moderate. If you compare him to the ultra-nationalists that are criticizing Putin for being too weak, too soft, for not using nuclear weapons a year ago. So again, my fear is that Zelensky will do a desperate act, a complete act, a crazy act in desperation, and then Putin will have no other way or no other option but to respond and answer that with nuclear weapons, with tactical small nuclear weapons over the Ukrainian arms. That will give the excuse to the United States to come directly into the war. And that's what we don't want, because that will immediately escalate and take us to nuclear war and Armageddon, to the end of the war, the day of judgment, mutual assured destruction. So that is the main fear. So I'm gonna keep looking and watching what's going on. I'm gonna keep looking and analyzing everything from the open sources, and we will continue. Thank you very much for your time. Ronald Ledo here from Miami.